Well, good morning and welcome back to Alma, Missouri in the Missouri farm. Exercising Ishtar right now. Final horse to train this morning. It's almost 7 o'clock. Man, we were busy yesterday. I think when we left in the episode, we were spread manure on the field that had been soybeans behind me. That's been done. We used all the manure that we had and then some. We want to put wheat into that field. I also brought the what do you call it? Anyway, the air drill back from the store, so it's here, but we don't have the cart yet for the seed. So I got to go get one of those. We're going to use that to put the wheat in, and hopefully today or tomorrow. Better today. All right, get Ishtar groomed. We'll put the tack away here and get on with our day. I'm going to run through the horses here, make sure everybody's 100% on cleanliness and daily riding. Yes. I'm not quite sure why I didn't get plowing done at the end of the year last year, but you really got to get the plowing done in the fall. And having the horses is just, oh, it's so much work. All right, I'm going to drive around here. I'm going to have a worker help me out starting this morning. I don't really need to be doing this, but we did get all of the horseshoe-shaped field plowed. And then we went back and got all the little bits that got missed with another plow because of the micro terrain out there in that field. The bigger plows weren't able to do it. And then over here, after I did the headlands, I was trying to get a worker to go with the mulch tiller. I couldn't get them to go because I don't know if it thought it was a mulcher and the field had already been mulched, but basically they just say no field found or something like that. So I ended up getting this case plow, and it seems to work all right. So I'm going to get a worker started doing this here. This is actually really not so much priority. Mr. Nebraska Jim came out to help us out this morning. This field's not so much a priority because this is going to be soybeans and they aren't going to go in until May anyway. But it's here. I figure it can get done in the background. While we run around and do everything else. We'll roll the stones in on that field if we can get away with it. I think we should be able to. But I got to stone pick the horseshoe-shaped field, which is going to be a nightmare. All right, I got 2 bulls. I got to get them over there because I got to make sure that that keeps going over at the spinnery and the Granny's knitwear over there. This does not look as full as I would prefer it. I suppose I don't have time to mess around right now mixing up feed. Let's see. There's still nearly 80,000 liters of total mixed ration, 95,000 liters of feed overall, so I suppose it's okay at the moment. I didn't even look at the ages of the cows. I got it. That was a dairy cow. 36 months is when we want to sell the beef cattle, so we got, but we'll let them reproduce. Okay. So 2 months for cattle. That'll be, what, May? And the sheep are producing like crazy. And I got more that are gonna reproduce too. But they're producing wool like mad. So I got 2 there. Let's see, so the wool, take the wool. Uh-oh. There we go. Door's sticking a little bit. All right. So let me get the F350 out. We'll put the wool on the back of that. Alright, we're over at the spinnery now. Got 2 wool, I'll put 1 in each. Seems like the thing to do. As I was loading the wool, I was thinking about the cattle and the need to mix up feed. What I should do is just leave the feed mixer with feed in it. I don't know, I'm pushing it. Why? That's why. I thought my forks were level, they were not. I'm gonna end up pushing the other one off the other side if I'm not careful. So back with what I was saying is I should leave the feed mixer full of feed, so if I think they need to be fed, I can just go ahead and feed them right then and there, rather than saying, oh, that's something I need to do later. I'll have to try and start doing that. It's just hard not to... Ooh. Is that... Was that hazard marked area always there? I guess it's been the winter so much I hadn't really noticed. Yeah, this thing needs maintenance pretty bad. slow. I should have just come over here and done this while that was doing that. So I got closed wool, closed fabric. And then I'll put more wool in here. And that one's got fabric wool. And I've been debating, I've been trying to figure out if it's worth making the fabric or not. I need the other one. We're going to put this in the grannies, yeah. Got it. Okay. And I'm not sure if making it from wool or making it from fabric's more effective. It's like making fabric and then making clothes from the fabric. We're just making the clothes straight from the wool. I convince myself one way and then I question it the other way. All right. See, I'll head back to the farm. And then we're going to need to go into town. We're going to need to get the cart for the seeds. Oh, you can see this Nebraska Jim over there on the plow. See her on the top of the hill there. In the distance. And then the other thing I need is I got to figure out a way to move stones. Then I got to decide where I'm going to start putting them. I don't like them where they're at right now, and I want to move them from there. I don't think those stone pickers raise up real high. So I have an idea of what could work, but I'm not 100% sure if it's gonna or not. And then to bring the seed cart back out here, I'm gonna need a tractor, but I'm gonna need this for the other thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna need to send the, what is it, a 6250 or 6R into town as well. Yeah, about. So here's my two stone pickers. This one I'll have to put the 4755 on, and even that is probably 10 horsepower shy of what it needs. This I could probably run with the whites on the plow. I could probably pull it with the International. And then I want to move this pile of stone somewhere else, but I'm not sure where it can go. That's not where we missed manuring. That's where we put down manure first and then went over it with the landall, so it's got a mulch state look to it. So what I need to do And this always doesn't work. On this map, more than others, I've found that when you have workers, sometimes you send them a go-to, they start driving in circles when they get to where they want to go. We don't like that. But we're going to send a worker off to town in the John Deere, and then I'm going to follow him in. We'll purchase a couple of items at the store, which are pretty expensive, and then we'll get back out here. So he'll go, I'm hoping, and go park behind the store. I'm gonna get over there and I'll follow him in. I'll probably park out front though. At the store. The worker doesn't like it when you pass him, and also the AI spline seems to go through the farm on the corner there. So alright, we're gonna take a look at used equipment while we're here. What do we got? No, not sure. No, I don't think so. We could get this and put the dry box on the back. It's got a decent spread width, not as big as a Trident, which I'm saving up for and want to get, but I don't know if we'll ever get there. That's super tempting. We need money right now. Let's buy what we came for. So, tools, seeders, and then we need this Bourgault air cart, which goes with our Paralink hoe drill. $272,000 new. We want twins all the way around, which is going to be an extra $4,000. Ouch. Then the other thing I need, I think, is under trailers. There it is. The 20-foot gooseneck tipper trailer. It's only $9,500. And I want to put stones in this. Let me configure it. I thought it had a license plate on it. It doesn't. That's weird. All right, so $286,300 down. Yikes. All right, let's pull around back. Hopefully we'll see the worker back there waiting. I don't see him. Oh no. Where is he? It's hard to get good help, I tell you. Let me pull this out and across the street here. Let me figure out where the worker went. Give me a minute. Alright, so the worker ended up, he was like in a showdown with traffic on the county road that runs through town here. The one that goes in front of the store. Basically, they were both stopped on each side of the street, thinking the other guy was in their way or something. I don't know. Anyway, we got him here. This thing is so huge. I can't trust a worker to get it back. So I'm going to have to drive this back. I'll get the worker to take the... Take this back? Oh, God. I hate to send him ahead. Because I know what's likely to happen, but I don't have much choice. So I'm going to have to do it. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully we can trust Mrs. Nebraska Jim. I thought she was driving the plow. I don't know. Maybe it's her doppelganger. This thing frightens me. This thing is so big. I bet I should turn my beacons on for this. Can I fit this down my driveway? I wonder if we can even fit past the parked cars with this thing. Certainly can't encounter any traffic. Alright, we're back at the farm. He's afraid to follow me in. I don't know where to go with this. Let's go around this way. I turn the beacons off. Where am I going to keep this thing? This thing is massive. I don't even know how I'm going to put seed in this, to be honest with you. I probably should have pulled around that way, but we got other fish to fry, I suppose. So we're going to keep this handy. Well, probably keep it hooked up, actually. And we're going to have to get seed in there, I think. I can probably take the... Do I have to use an auger with this? I don't remember if I do or not. I could probably empty this entire thing into that. Facing the wrong way anyway. That didn't help, did it? Alright. Let me turn around. So I can probably do this one of two ways. I could do it the easy way or the hard way. Let's try the hard way. Open cover. There we go. That's, I guess, not so hard after all. How much should we put in? I don't know. We're not going to put fertilizer in because we don't need fertilizer. I'm gonna put, what, 10,000 liters will fill it halfway. I think I'll half fill it with 10,000. Ten 10,019 is 56%. And that's pretty cool. Oh my god, you get it all the way up here, huh? And then you got the front part. Okay. So then we'll fold it up, and now we've got 10,000 liters of seed in here to start drilling wheat. So the next task is to get started on the stone picking. So we'll get the larger one. I'm gonna try and do what? Headlands with it, and then I'll try and get the other two going top and bottom. If I can. We look good on maintenance, fuel looks okay. So we should be alright. Get started with this. So we'll get the larger stone picker here. I still haven't decided where I'm going to start putting the stones. Something I probably should have thought about. Come on. There we go. So I want to head out. Well, actually what I'll do is I'll go out across the bottom edge of the field, see if we can start setting that edge. Then we'll go over to the top. I don't know. We're doing well. We're making good progress on the day, that's for sure. It's only 9:07. And if I see where the worker got with the plowing, so I think I need to start here. I'll unfold this. This is going to be tricky, I think, but am I like not running over it? Is it not picking it up? What's going on? There we go. It's getting it now. Alright, so let me get running. Worker's still over there plowing. What I want to do is I want to get kind of this southern edge set so I can try and get a worker going kind of almost north-south. It's a little off from that angle, but I think they recognize the headlands with the stone picker. The problem is the workers don't consistently necessarily turn the same direction. If I got weeds growing, that's where I missed plowing, I think. But there's not much we can do about it now. So the workers will turn one way or the other, and if you interrupt them, they could change which way they turn. So the idea is if we have the trailer, hopefully that gooseneck trailer, we can pull up behind them, have the worker offload into it without stopping the worker, and they'll continue to follow the same path that they've been following, and hopefully it'll minimize the amount that we have to do. And I'll get one worker going from one direction and the other one going from the other. Well, all I'm going to try and do is just get like 2 passes, maybe top and bottom of the field, meaning kind of the northern edge along the tree line, along the railroad tracks there, and this edge down here just to give them a little bit of buffer to turn around and everything. Hopefully that'll work. But see how long the plowing is taken with that little, what is it, 13 shank chisel plow with the sweeps on it from Case that we're using. Oh, and thanks, Pear, for the suggestion on the plow. I've used that one before. It works very well in the game. For some reason, I don't like it. I don't like using it. I don't like the way it looks, kind of, a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'd like to use something a little more traditional or whatever. Anyway, let me see if we can get workers set up to do this, and then we can get over on seeding. I think with that, if we can do 2 rounds, 2 times around, 2 headlands with that seed drill, probably have a worker do that. That shouldn't take long with that big old thing. That'll be fun. All right, it's just after 11 o'clock in the morning. I've run along the kind of the northern and southern edges of the field with the stone picker. It's nearly full, so we're gonna find out if this will work. Workers still working, plowing that field north of the stables, and that'll continue. That's not really the priority. The stone picking and getting on the drilling of the wheat are our priorities for today. So I'm looking at the height of this and I'm wondering if it's going to work. I have not tried this yet. I am hopeful because the workers are very, very problematic with stone picking. You don't know which way they're going to turn. You have to, if you interrupt them, you could disrupt their rhythm. I found the best way to get it to work is to offload them without firing the worker or stopping the worker. I've tried interrupting the worker and just drop the stones in a pile in the field to come pick up later. But even when you hop in and you start them again right where they stopped, you don't know if they're going to turn left or right when they get to the end. So the best thing to do is start them at an edge and just let them work to the other side. So I'm not sure I'm really on the edge here. I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. It's not low enough. It's not going to work. A bucket's the only thing I can do. Well, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to come up with another plan. Let me think. Got an idea. It's gonna take another trip into town. I'll see you back here in probably a half an hour or better with another plan. Gonna need some help, I think. Dang it. Okay, it's noon now. It's kind of, we're doing the same thing we were doing before. We're driving up here. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try something. I've had some limited success trying to do this sort of thing before, so we'll see if it works. The problem is this trailer's just too high, and there really isn't one low enough that I think it'll work. To do what we want to do. The only trailer that looked low would be the Salic, I think, which is a base game trailer, but really small. There were some, like the Fortune trailers, like I'm using on the old Polish farm, that looked like they could work, but yeah, it doesn't look like that's gonna be what works for me. So I have had success coming up with a wheel loader behind it and dumping into the wheel loader bucket and allowing the worker to continue. So I've got this grapple bucket here on the front of our Maxim. It doesn't have a great capacity, so it's not going to work real well for us, but I think it should work. But it's not going to buy us not a significant amount of time. We'll get the worker completely offloaded here this time, hopefully. But then if the capacity is only like 1,500, we'll have to come back more frequently than we would otherwise if the trailer would have worked. I don't know if this is going to work at all. Yeah, well, okay. So we got 3568 in here. We can dump this into our bucket, which is going to be super heavy. I don't know if I got a big enough weight on the back to be able to lift it high enough, but we'll see. My rear tires aren't off the ground yet. So this mod, the grapple bucket, it's called a John Deere bucket, but you can change the decal on the side. So we got Case IH and we got it painted Case colors. I've been wanting to use this, so I guess I got my opportunity. Very good. The lighting's best from this direction, so I think this will work. We'll raise it slowly. We are going to be... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little too heavy. I think we're going to be able to make it work, but it is not ideal. So what we could do is you can set this bucket to have an unreal capacity, which would certainly make it easier. Then we could complete. I don't know what it would do with the weight wise though, or does it ignore the weight when you do the unreal capacity? I don't know. I don't like to, I don't like to do that kind of thing. I I may have to go get a bigger weight. I don't know. To make this work better. What was the size? Oh, that's only a little 650. I think I can do better than that. Man. I just hate to interrupt the flow of things to try and go get another weight. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I think of that when I was down at the store? I don't know. I should have done better. I should have. I think if we just lift before we move, we might be all right. Get it as high as we can. There we go. Before it starts to tip. I think we can make it work, but how are we going to run two of them? I could get the Kubota with the bucket on the other side of the field, but it's tracked. It's super slow. This is not going to save us a ton of time like I was hoping it would. I'm not going to lease a wheel loader to do this either. Should be the last of it. Okay. That's fine. And then the idea is that we're going to hire a worker along this edge. And hopefully, I don't know exactly what angle he's going to go at, but hopefully he'll just keep working from this edge on in. Fingers crossed. Alright, well, he's going at least. You know, what happens with that, I don't know. If he misses a little, we can come back and clean it up. The thing is that he keeps going. That's what we need to have happen. But he just keeps going without stopping. And then I need to clear this area here so he can not be blocked by anything and turn around. How can we do that? I think I'll go out the other entrance with the gooseneck. We'll park this over here by the bridge. Whoop. In this entrance. This should be out of the way. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it hooked up. Let's see if I can back up even. I know that when I had this parked across at the corn dryer, it was very hard to manipulate then. Okay, we got it. So then we got to hook all this stuff up, and that's gonna, I think pneumatically we're gonna blow our seed. Well, it's an air cart, right? So yeah. Pneumatically, we're going to send our seed out here to the drill portion of it. And I don't know how big this thing is. It's massive, that's for sure. We're on wheat. We're half full. Make sure we stay on wheat. And then I need to unfold it so I can see how big it's going to be before I get too far out here so I get a good start. I don't know how far it's going to unfold. Oh my God, this thing is massive. Holy mackerel. Well, I think we won't have a problem getting this field drilled today. This should be fairly quick. I certainly won't be able to back up once I get here, so I'm just gonna have to start here and go from there, I think. Oh, maybe I can. No. It's just gonna go pear-shaped, won't it? But I'll have to come down that edge, so it's okay. Good God. This is going to be a whole new learning curve to figure out how to deal with this. I mean, once we're going and we got our headlands done, but I imagine it needs just so much room to turn around and everything. I'm not like getting anywhere by all these machinations I'm doing, so let's without further ado, let's fire it up. Hear it whining. Enough of that. Let's go. Now, we would need to be more careful because we'd be seeding out in our margin there. But oh my God! So I'm gonna zoom out as far as I can get so I can see what's going on the best I can. This is nuts. That is incredible. So, you wouldn't do headlands first if you're doing this, but it's game, so we kind of do it this way. Also, it helps with workers when you do it this way. I'm going to come to here. And then I'm going to try and back up best that I can. Probably minimal inputs would be best, but look at that. I'm just jacking it all around. Look at it follow me though. Don't get caught on the culvert. I'm gonna start here. We'll try and get the rest when we can. It's so unwieldy. I bet I could do this whole field in one time lapse. Maybe. It's almost 1 o'clock now. You gonna see what happens? right, it's almost 3 o'clock. I cannot believe that in approximately 2 game hours at 3 times speed, I was able to drill that entire field. That was incredible. Obviously, I had to do some jump cuts in that time lapse. Otherwise, yeah, we just don't have time in the episode for all that. Oh, also, it's probably not too exciting to watch that. We get it folded up here. I made a pretty good guess on the seed. I did almost use all of it. There were times I was thinking I was going to run out. I was almost sure I was going to run out of seed, but I didn't. So, yeah, we got it done. I haven't been able to pay attention to messages too well, so I don't know what's going on with the worker over in the stone picking. I'll have to check on that. I know the one plowing's done. The one stone picking would just be sitting there if he quit. Let's see. If I pull up my map, if he's moving, that's good. He's still moving. As long as he's moving, that's a good thing. All right, let's get this big old this whole nonsense is just ridiculous how big this is. Let's see if we can get... But I guess the way that it's all set up, you know, with the dolly type trailers or axles on it, steering axles, it does follow. So as long as it's wide enough, it does follow pretty well. Oh boy. So we'll get back into the yard here. I think I can go around the building and get it parked all right. I don't need those beacons on anymore. So I think I'm going to get that field rolled today as well. I think if I go around a couple of times, I'll be able to set a worker off on it, and then that field will be rolled by tomorrow. And then I can be a little more focused on the stone picking, perhaps, and some other things that need to get done. But I'm, cautiously optimistic that everything's going well. As far as I know, right? So this is going to take up a bunch of room here to park this contraption, but it's all right. Wow. So we'll get hooked up to the roller, and that'll be the next task. You've seen me roll before, so you shouldn't get too upset about maybe missing it. There we go. I think it's bigger than I think it is. But if I can get this rolled, I got other things I want to do. This is supposed to be a organic field, so we're going to probably spread slurry on it. I got that field container we'll put up at the north end of the field between this and the horseshoe-shaped field. We'll fill it up with slurry, and then we can refill our slurry spreader up there. The idea is I'm going to try and roll it today. Tomorrow we'll probably try and spread slurry, and then maybe we'll see if we can weed it ahead of time as well. But I don't know. I think I'm out of time. I don't know how it's all going to go together. I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me here in Alma, Missouri at the Missouri Farm. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you don't subscribe yet, why not? It don't cost nothing. We're getting things done. See you next time. Ooh, I guessed that pretty well. I don't even have to drop it down, do I? It's off a little. Not bad though.
PlayStation